Hello! Hello, hello, hello. Right, let's see if I can do something about this noise. Hang on a minute. Music's quite cool, isn't it? Right. Vibration mutes non-voice audio during conversation. Woo. Okay, I think I'm going to be able to do that. Movement speed 0. Do you think that means I can't move? Okay, right, I think that's good. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so all I've done so far is do all the like setting stuff and make my avatar. So we're going to launch into the career. Oh. Tutorial. Let's hope it's better than the Planet Coaster one. Goodwin House, stately home, schooling. Okay, start now. Here we go. Building past, you can toggle on curved elevation to create curved slopes and stairs. Yeah, that was good today. Anyway, how are you? Hope you're doing all right today. Restructuring the day. I've got stuff on, so.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
Ew.
As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you into the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Okay, hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Select the bear. Right.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera from inside its information panel? See, now this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
I like bears. They're cute. I mean, they're not cute, but they are cute. You know. I wouldn't want to try and cuddle one. Gotta like them. Right, hang on a minute. So... Right. Okay, I can turn. I can turn. I can zoom. I can tilt. I can't move. Excuse me. Am I still in camera mode? Yes, I'm still in camera mode, that's why. Right. Locate the West African lion habit. West African. Okay.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
All right, okay, locate the empty habitat. Okay. I mean, this is exactly how zookeeping works, right? You fly around. There it is.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well,
an animal?
Two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Animal market.
There we are. A pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just select them and choose Adopt. Normally, the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Darn, there goes that plan. Right.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Select the ground. Centre Zoo. okay. I have to do it every time. Right, okay.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
You've marked it. Where? Marked it where? How? Locate the Animal Trade Centre. I'd love to. So let's see. How? Vertical movement. Locate Animal Trade Centre. How do we... Nice if things actually popped up. Okay, let me see. So she's marked it apparently. Do I have a map? I don't even know what it looks like, so... Oops. Animal Trade Centre. What does it look like? Zoopedia, Zoo Management, Trade Centre. Okay, am I being totally blind? Because nothing is marked on the map. All 30s. What is that? Information Centre.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed.
Oh dear.
Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Right. I'm assuming I just came across the other one by like the wandering around. One of those buildings is the one I was supposed to try and find. Okay.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare. Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Oh, okay, good. It's over near the hippos. Where the heck the hippos? Oh, right, okay, here we are. Ostriches.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause time for a moment. Ah, that's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Okay. Barriers. Habitat gates. Outside of placement area. Oh, have I got it? Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Got to add it into the barrier. Okay.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier. Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Place a section with glass. You know what I just did? Nope. Okay. No. Edit height, select all connected barriers, edit height, remove, delete.
There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests
That was
even more
confusing.
opportunities
Okay.
to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
Okay.
Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should unpause time. After all, if time's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches. Oh, by the way, as well as pausing time, you can also speed it up. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It
Okay,
can be
well,
useful,
why would I need to do that?
especially if you're waiting for money to
Okay, see you later
accumulate
then.
or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
Ah, I can do all of them. Hi, Sentinel. How you doing? Welcome in.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
What time do I call this? Yeah, I know. I've got things on today. Mainly got people coming in the afternoon and then something else in the evening. And I thought, I'm not going to get to do the reset today. The Dreamlight Valley reset. So, I'll probably catch up with that tomorrow, maybe. What do you mean it's obstructed? What do you mean it's obstructed? So rude.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you
I know.
they can
So I've got
actually
people
run
coming, haven't I?
at
I've got Mum
43
coming over.
miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
I mean, I'd like to get to stream it a little bit later.
Bernie certainly seems
after,
impressed.
but
Did he do his speed camera joke?
I'm not sure.
Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm alright. What did she say I've got to do? Build a keeper hut. Okay. So I got this game and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do this game in the morning and have a bit of fun. Yep. Classic keeper hut, small. Planet Zoo keeper hut. I'm going to go with the classic.
You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
Okay. Where am I supposed to put it? Did she tell me? Oh, that's where I'm supposed to be. That's why. Ha ha ha! Right. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm alright.
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively.
That's weird.
In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
Oh no, I was hoping that it didn't have this power thing in it, but it does. Oh no. Ah, transformer. What's it transform into? This is what I want to know.
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Right, okay. Okay.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Tigers. Okay, this is tigers. Right. Tigers. Right, okay, so let's stop time again. Okay. Yeah, so today's gone a bit weird. Pain in the bum. Yeah, so got Mum coming over, and obviously that's going to be this afternoon, so right in streaming time. And then this evening got Wing Chun, so I thought, do you know what? Got this new game, can do this today, and as the reset will probably be well over by the time I get any time to do anything, I'll probably do that tomorrow and catch up with reset, etc. It's a bit of a pain, but there we go. Needs must. Right, so we're going to need barriers. Very important. Yeah. But red brick? Concrete? What's the difference? Resistance grade 5. Dilapidation rate high. Opaque, not climbable. Watertight. Okay. Watertight, not climbable, opaque. Dilapidation rate moderate. Resistance grade 6. And then that's glass. Right. Am I working with the money here? No, money here's alright. Okay. I think we should go with the concrete. What do you reckon?
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, let's select the habitat barrier and then jump into barrier editing mode.
Right. No. Set boundary to 3.7 meters high. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing? So length, angle, height, snap, follow train, window. I don't want another gate. Hang on, maybe. No, so barrier editor mode. Edit barrier. Oh, well done. Yes, I am doing the tutorial. I've literally had this game on for about half an hour or so. This is the first stream ever. Got a brand new game. So, edit the... That's the same thing that we were on before. It's just connected barriers. Ayo. Okay. So, length, angle snap, height snap. Set boundary to 3.7 meters high. Height snap sets the height. Why don't these things stay up longer? Set the height movement tool to increase or decrease at specific values. Okay, did nothing.
Great! Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by selecting fence segments one by one, or select one and hold to use the multi-select mode.
Select all the barriers. Okay. And then edit the height. Where does it tell me how high it is? 150 millimeters. Oh, right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Is that the tiny writing above it? Why does the writing get smaller? Yeah, so what does it say? That's ridiculous. It needs to show me somewhere else. 3 368. And it immediately goes to the middle.
Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
What's wrong with instant noodles? And A, we haven't got... And B, and all of the things. She didn't let me put, She didn't let me put any glass in. Oh, that was wrong. Oh, I see. Okay, I have to literally select it like that. Okay. So, can people get down this section, or is this just where the keepers go? Can you see people? It just seems to be keepers. Yeah. Okay. So, we need...
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
Right, so let's unpause time.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Right. Feeding station. Large food tray.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into Terrain and selecting the water tool.
By going into Terrain, selecting the water tool. Yep.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Can't help but notice that there isn't any water in here. It moved him out the way. Okay, that was me because I just picked the wrong. I thought I didn't pick where it needed to be filled up to. Okay. Add food enrichment. Add toy enrichment.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you. Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Right. Information panel.
Rightio. Head over to the Terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
So if it's red, do they need more of it?
Open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Give them more soil. Oops, someone lost their balloon. Right, what am I on already? Okay. Does that help? Stop running around. Right. Right, so they want more long grass and a little bit more short grass. Okay. Am I going in the right direction? That's not the right thing. No! I need less longer. Okay, less longer. So I need less long grass and more short. Yes, you're right. I did it the wrong way around. I thought it was because they wanted more because it was red. See what I mean?
Right then. All animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
I can't help but notice that this dude's just walked in. It's a tiger. Steve, what are you doing, you crazy loon? What are you doing? Okay, his name's Roderick. Of course it is. Okay, hang on a minute. So they want what do you want?
Now,
so
as you can
plants.
see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want. You can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Tropical or temperate. Okay, so let's see. Right, we need to, let's remove these. Right, so let's see. Trees. Nature. Right, so let's see. See, I don't think they like any of this. Well, that's okay, that can stay. Right. So let's see. Bird's nest fern. Oh, I can't help notice that I completely missed these ones entirely. It's okay. Like I said, right.
They say the good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still,
Oh, yeah, look,
those
the
tigers
ape
look so
vegetative.
happy that I doubt they'd leave. Even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
It's a nice tree, but its name really is corkwood. I know, a corkwood tree. It sounds interesting, but it also sounds awfully uncomfortable. Sorry, I've not been paying attention to my feet. What was it? Willis Woodwick. Don't live in Tiger. We just unlocked a thing about Tiger. Yes. Oh, yeah, maybe. Good plan, actually. Yes, if I'd had the... It might have been better to put the door over that side. But okay, it's done now, so let's see. We can remember to do that in the future. Right, the peafowls. Okay, here we go.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open our information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese.
Where are they? Oh.
Expand their social welfare, and we can get a bit more detail.
Expand their social welfare. Here we go.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space, and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Head over to the social tab to see what's wrong. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then.
3 more females. Peahens. Right. Just so happens to be that there's only peahens in the market today.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
Snow leopard. Oh. There's not a lot
Just
of
like
snow, is
people,
there?
animals can
Aw.
suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of
darn them.
privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
Right, so swap the cave glass. It's a hot day for a snow leopard. So, okay.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather. You should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat. As you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's
Ooh.
pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
So coolers can be found under habitat. Stop slamming weather woman, it's temperate. Okay. Heaters and coolers. Coolers. Wow, okay. Do we need more?
You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopards' terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Let's have a look. So, definitely don't want long grass. Okay.
Now then, all of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should head to the animal section of the zoo management screen.
Oh.
As you can see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare. So if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate tool. Right, I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Oh no, she's leaving me on my own. Okay. So this is definitely wrong. Zero enrichment. Food enrichment habitat, toy enrichment habitat. Okay. How do I know which ones they want? How do I know? I mean, I don't even know what it is. What is it? It's a tortoise. So they haven't got a shelter. What? Okay, so these guys don't have a shelter. Enrichment shelter on grass and sand. Okay. Oh, right, okay. So is this hard shelter? Okay, so this is everything that they use. Right, okay, so this is everything they use. Okay, cool. Cool. Right, okay. So they haven't got a huge area. So how would this be? I think I need to sync that. Block of frozen fruit. A dog ball. Fruit spike tree. Toys, herb scent marker, aquatic pack, small ball pumpkin, small ice ball, sprinkler. Shelter space is critically insufficient to cover all the animals. Oh. Right, okay, so that's no good then. Right. Mm. How's this? Oh wait, this is their bedding. Right, okay. Okay, yes, okay, cool. So they want more long grass and more sand? And more long grass. Yay! Okay, so the turtle seems to be much better now. Woohoo! Yep. Well, apparently the elephants aren't happy because they're not going to live as long and they're not as big. What? What? Oh, look at the little baby. Little baby. Right, so they want more long grass and less soil. More long grass and less soil. Yeah, I can see that. This is horrible. Let's start with that. To sense their own end. That's just a little bit. So there's still too much soil. Yeah, you're right. Could be a bit more short grass. That's well within parameters, I think. They don't have enough coverage of plants. So there's not enough coverage of plants, okay. So they want grassland, desert and aquatic, okay. Grassland, desert and aquatic. Okay, let's see. Bubble tree. I like them, they're kind of weird. Hello, Vera. It's annoying. Um, what's this? Woo! Right, how are we doing so far? Let's have a look. There's elephants. Where are the elephants? I'm a little confused. So plants is 2%. Plant type and coverage is severely inappropriate for this animal. Right, so we've got too much coverage. We've got too much coverage and the wrong type of plants. Right, okay. Maybe the plants that were in here already, they're not suitable. Hang on. So what biome is this? Kapok tree. What is that? Hang on. So I want a biome that looks... What's the picture that goes with it? So grasslands. Grassland and desert and aquatic. So none of those are green. So this is the wrong type of tree. Wrong type of tree. Wrong type of tree. Wrong type of tree. Yep, that's fine. Wrong type of tree. That's okay. Oh, these are all wrong. Okay. Okay. There's poop everywhere. Okay, so let's see. Much better. Okay. Yes, that's good. Enrichment is rubbish. Toy enrichment habitat sprinkler. So they want a sprinkler. Food enrichment in habitat. Okay. Large barrel feeder, large fixed roller feeder, tree scatter feeder. %61 enrichment. So they want more toy enrichments. Let's have a look. So, okay. So let's see what would they like the toy sprinklers. They got snowman skittle, a rubbing pillar, a large tire. A waterfall and metal frame. Right, okay. Yeah, I like the waterfall too. It didn't show what it actually does, but I think they can run through it. Oh, adult population. So the social is 100%, but their adult population is 2. Is that good or bad? Too few adults and juveniles in the animal social group. This is too few adults and juveniles. Adult population is 2. Maybe if we just buy another elephant. What do you think? If we buy one more female elephant. Oh, because they're females. There's no male. There's no male. They're both females. Oh, let's see what happens. Let's see if it'll let me do it. It's too expensive. It uses a different currency. I don't know what currency it uses. It uses leaves, apparently. Leaves. But that's another girl anyway. We don't want another girl. Average animal welfare is 88%. don't like that idea. I don't want to do those. Carlos can do one. It's already in this. It's already in there. Oh no. Oh, the zebras. The zebras. They're in a rock. What? Where's the zebras? Oh, okay. Wait, are the zebras in with the giraffes? This is the tutorial zoo, though. I don't think it would let me do that. Just as long as I don't have to do anything with it. I never have to think about it again. It's gone from my brain. Right. So, enrichment is not good. Let's see, terrain. Oh, no. Right, hard shelter they've got. Terrain, 40%. Inappropriate for the animal. So they want more short and long grass and less soil. Okay, we can do that. Do the giraffes want the same? Right, so they want more long grass, and so right, so we'll concentrate on long grass. And less soil. It's got to be bad on their hooves. 73% soil. We'll do a little bit of short grass. Just do like a couple of little dabs here and there. Right, how are we doing? Right, they need more short grass. They do need more short grass. Right, we need more long grass now. You love the train. You want to go to the zoo? Right, how are we doing? I'll make sure it's alright for all of the animals. So, right, that's within parameters for them. So they're happy with that. Giraffes? Giraffes. Yes, they're happy too. Woohoo! Okay. Coverage is okay. Plants. Oh no. Oh, they're very unhappy. Okay. So coverage is too high and the wrong plants. So they want grassland. Can these guys just do the grassland? They can do grassland and tropical. Right. What's this? Outside. That's grassland, that's fine. Do you know you shouldn't have sycamores around horses? If you have sycamores around horses, if they eat it, actually it's very bad for them. It can end up killing them. Tropical. Let's change the So what I'll do is I'll just replace these trees with more appropriate ones. I think the placement of them is fine. Is it? No. Okay, so the grassland. So they're perfectly happy with that coverage. Okay. And so are they. I think so. Calendula tree, tiny. Oh wait, what are all these? Ferns. Oh, I think probably about one, I think. Acacia tree. Okay, how are we doing? So, plant type and coverage is appropriate for this animal. Okay. And the giraffes? Yep, okay, so they're happy.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours. There's still lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
Okay, they're okay, they're good. Woohoo!
Sounds like you've got the whole zoo purring away nicely. Well, purring, grunting, screaming, booming. All the appropriate noises.
Okay. I was kind of half expecting them to take me to the next zoo. The Ape Apprenticeship, the Madagascar Simian Conservation Project. Let's go! We're off to see the monkeys! Oh, no, they're not actually the apes, but they're right to it.
Welcome to Madagascar. It's quite the change of scenery from dreary old England, huh? Apart from the weather, I suppose. They don't call these places rainforests for nothing. The zoo you'll be working in is an ape sanctuary, where we're doing vitally important conservation work. Not just for apes, but for all kinds of species. But apes, well, apes are some of the closest relatives to humans there are. And yet, the way the world treats them is like, well, very much like some of us treat our actual relatives. Anyway,
Why is he
that's why
laughing
I'm
about that?
determined that our operation here does some good. If we can all leave some part of the world in a better state than we found it, we'll have lived lives worth living. And speaking of states, I have a horrible feeling I left the house in the right one. When I get back, I expect my life won't be worth living at all.
Why is he laughing like that all the time?
What do you think of Madagascar,
Seems
then?
like he might
Bit
be in
warm for
trouble.
my taste, to be honest. Anyway, this is Bernie's Primate Sanctuary. It's not just primates, though. We've got all sorts of animals. So why don't we go and have a look at some of them, eh? We'll start by taking a look at the red-ruffed lemurs. They're the ones that look like they should be in a Shakespeare play. Come on, let's head over to them.
Okay. Where are they? Oh,
Red-ruffed lemurs are found in the rainforests of Masoala. That's in northeast Madagascar. They can actually live anywhere from 15 up to 25 years. Fancy that, eh? Okay, when you're ready, let's go find our Bornean orangutans.
Bornean orangutan.
The Bornean orangutan is such a marvellous creature. They're always a big favourite at any zoo they feature in, and they're also the biggest tree-dwelling animal on the planet. Assuming you don't count any lions that got stuck up one. Oh, why don't you take a better look at them? Open up their information panel and go into the animal camera. Aren't they just incredible? When you're ready, let's go and have a look-see at some of our beautiful bonobos. They're quite the characters.
Bonobo. I'm not going to lie. Don't think I've ever heard of a bonobo.
Oh, dear! It looks like we've arrived just in time. One of the habitat's barriers has collapsed. And wouldn't you know it, one of the bonobos has made a run for it. We'll need to catch them. But before we do, we should box up the other bonobos to stop them escaping too. Select the habitat boundary to bring up the habitat information panel. Good. Now open the animals tab. Box up the remaining bonobos with box all animals. Now, we'll need a vet to recapture that escaped bonobo, but it seems our last one left to do some research in the wild. Not an ideal situation. So, we'll need to hire a replacement sharpish. Go into the staff tab of the browser. You can find all of your staff in here, but there's no time to go looking at their particulars at the moment. Hire a vet. Now, place the vet on one of your paths. Great. Now let's deal with our escapee before they can cause too much havoc. Use the animal alerts to jump to the escaped bonobo. Then press Call Vet to... Yep, you guessed it. Call the vet over to capture it. Okay, that's the relief. So while the vet deals with our bonobo friend, let's go fix up their habitat so they can't escape again. Head back over there. As you can see, the barrier's collapsed. Someone's taken their eye off the ball, obviously. Let's get this one replaced. Select the barrier and then we'll edit it. Delete the broken section of barrier and replace it with a brand spanking new one. Good. Now that we've done that, we need to make sure to add climb-proof barriers to the top. That way the bonobos won't be able to climb out. Just make sure you've got the correct piece of barrier selected when you do that.
What?
Okay, so go into the options section and select which side the climb-proof barrier needs to go on. And don't get it wrong. We're more worried about bonobos climbing out than guests climbing in. Nicely done. And I think it's high time we unboxed those bonobos, wouldn't you say? The poor mites will get sad if we leave them in there for too long. Select the habitat barrier to bring up the habitat information panel again. And then open the Animals tab. And finally, use Unbox All Animals to let them out. I expect some of them are bursting for the toilet. So, it turns out that as well as the old vet leaving, the zoo's mechanics did too. We'll need to hire a couple of new ones so we can help stop any more breakouts. You see, mechanics do all sorts of helpful things around the zoo, but one of their most important jobs is taking care of the habitat barriers. Without mechanics around to repair them, the barriers will crack, crumble and fall down. And before you know it, we'll be overrun with escaped animals. Head into the staff tab of the browser again.
Did that.
Gosh, we have been busy, haven't we? Good work there. I'm off for a cuppa. Oh, I think Bernie wants a word with you.
Yeah, Bernie is on something, probably.
Oh, I hear you had a bit of an issue with an escaped bonobo. The main thing is that you dealt with it swiftly. And more importantly, without the animals stealing someone's clothes, putting them on, and then walking out of the front gate.
You see, another key responsibility for our vets is animal research. Researching animals allows vets to unlock new enrichment items, additional information for our education resources, enhanced breeding programs, and improvements to food quality. The animals' food, not the vets. It'll take more than a research grant to improve the staff canteen. Anyway, as you can see, research is a key part of running your zoo. In order for a vet to undertake research, they require a research centre. And once again, that's something that this zoo is missing. So let's build one. I've marked out an area for you to put it.
Have you? Right, okay.
Now, you've probably noticed that there's already a building where I want you to build the research centre. Don't worry. You see, the building that's currently there is actually a hollow shell. So we're able to place our new building inside of it. If you select the research centre for placement and then hover over the shell, you'll see that it asks if you want to add the research centre to the existing building.
Does that work?
Now, select the building to add it to it. Oh, but that won't place it just yet, though. First, we'll need to rotate our research centre so it automatically connects to the path when we place it.
Okay. That might help. Unless we want them climbing in the window.
Right. Splendid work. Now that we have a brand spanking new research centre, we can give our vets something to do in there. Oh, by the way, it's worth noting that the vets will only do research when they're not required to do any other jobs. That said, you can change what jobs a vet does via their information panel. But let's not worry about that just now. So, let's get our vet researching ring-tailed lemurs. Pop open the access menu, head into Zoo Management, then go to the vet research section.
Right, zoo management.
Here, you can see a list of all the animals present in your zoo, and also all the potential diseases that can occur. Now, assign your vet the ring-tailed lemur to start their research.
What? Yes. Ring-tailed lemur. Choose a vet and then select the ring-tailed lemur. Right, so him. I really need to read the things that are read. Right.
Actually, thinking about it, I'm not sure we've got any education boards or speakers by the lemur's habitat. Let's head over there and add some, so our guests can learn all about the furry little delights.
Okay.
First off, let's pop down 2 education boards. Place them on the habitat barriers at a height that guests can see, or, if you like, pop them down on a stand. Okay, now that they've been put into position, we have to tell them what animal to display information about. Select one of the education boards to bring up its information panel.
Okay.
And from the drop-down list, select ring-tailed lemur. Although I'm sure that last part was obvious. When you link an education board or a speaker to an animal, you need to make sure that said animal is close by. If it isn't, the guests will get confused and won't learn as much. Okay, now that we've done the education boards, let's pop down a pair of speakers. Speakers play audio to the guests so they can learn while they look at the animals, instead of having to go through the laborious process of reading. Oh, one thing to bear in mind is that it's important not to put the speakers too close together. If you do, the guests won't be able to understand what's being said.
Right.
Now we simply need to link the speakers to the ring-tailed lemurs, just like you did with the education boards.
Right. Ba-dooby-dooby, blooby-dooby-dooby-dooby.
Fantastic! Oh, it's worth remembering that education boards and speakers both need power to work. They won't do much good without it. Oh, it looks as though our vet has completed their research on ring-tailed lemurs. We'll need to collect the results. Head back into the vet research area to take a look at their findings. Go on, collect your research rewards. Just so you know, vets will continue to research an animal even after successfully completing a research level. I suppose when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. Well, now that we've enriched the lives of our guests, let's enrich the lives of our ring-tailed lemurs. Some animals, like lemurs, will have a climbing need. That means they have a requirement for a certain amount of climbing space, and you can fulfill that requirement by building them a climbing frame. Let's find out how much more climbing space our lemur friends need, shall we? Select one of them and bring up their information panel.
So, where is the blinking lemur? Oh. I like to move it.
Next, pop over to the Terrain tab. Now, as you can see, the lemurs need quite a lot more climbing space. But as it happens, I've already got a climbing frame blueprint built for you. So you can either pop that down or build one yourself from scratch. By the way, it's not always just climbing needs that you have to worry about. Other animals might need a certain amount of water in their habitat so they can go for a swim. They certainly do keep us on our toes.
There's too much sand, apparently. Too much sand, not enough long grass. Right, where's she looking for it to say how much climbing they need? Terrain, hard shelter. What? That's very ringtail lemur. Climbable area requirements. Climbable area requirements. Nutrition social habitat. I mean, I know what she told me to do, but I'm trying to figure out on here where it says climbable. I don't know. I'm so confused. Right. It needs more climbing. Under space, third indicator. Under space, third indicator. Right, bear with me a moment. I'd like to see where that is because I'm going to need it. So, right. So under terrain. Space. Is really? I can't click on anything in there in space. Okay. All right then. We'll go with what we think. That right. Hmm.
Oh, that's a great climbing frame for them. They're going to absolutely love it. Do you know what would make them even happier, though? Nicer food. But that's true of all of us, though, isn't it? You can unlock better quality food for animals through research. Luckily, we've already unlocked some for the lemurs, so all that remains is to make sure they get served it from now on. Let's bring up the habitat information panel by selecting the lemur habitat.
Okay. Okay, lemur habitat. Yes, I'm on it. I'm on the lemur habitat.
Lovely. Now select the Animals tab.
Yep.
There we go. As you can see, we can set the food quality in here. Just open the drop-down menu and select Grade 2 Food Quality. Grade 2 Food Quality. My mouth's watering already.
Yep. I'd like Grade 2 food quality.
A new climbing frame and better food. Oh, you've really spoilt those lemurs rotten. Now, I think it's time we looked at one of the zoo's most important responsibilities. Releasing animals into the wild. You see, when we feel an animal is ready, we can release them into the wild. But what makes an animal a good candidate for release? Well, their age is an important factor. I mean, we can't release an animal that's a juvenile, just as we can't release one that's gotten too old. They'll also need to be fertile. After all, the idea is to repopulate the wild, so the best candidates will have a high fertility gene. And together, the age and fertility of a candidate will determine how many conservation credits we'll be rewarded when we release them. Now, conservation credits are vitally important. They're the lifeblood of your zoo, because earning them allows you to adopt even more animals. And what's more, the animals you can adopt will be of a higher quality. So, with that in mind, let's pop over to our orangutan habitat.
I bet this is the leaves, isn't it? It's going to be the leaves.
I'd like you to find Agang, the Bornean orangutan, in the habitat and select him, please. You can go through each orangutan in turn or select the habitat barrier, go to the Animals tab in the Habitat Information panel and find him in the Animals list.
Which one am I looking for? Agwang.
I know it's sad to see him go, but he'll be happy out in the wild. And he's a wonderful candidate for release. Young, strong and fertile. Excellent work there. You've definitely got potential, you know.
Ah, I see you've been doing some homework. Although, it hardly seems like work when you're learning about something as adorable as a ring-tailed lemur. I imagine I'd have got much better grades at school if there'd been less algebra and more aldebra. Tortoises.
Right.
Okay, so far we've done a lot of work with habitat animals, but now it's time to learn all about exhibit animals. Let's build a brand new exhibit. I've marked an area for our new exhibit. How about we head over there?
Right.
Lovely. Now let's build a new exhibit in the gap that's been left. Just add it to the building like we did with the research centre earlier, then pop it into the gap.
Any particular type of anything?
Perfect. The next thing to do is adopt an exhibit animal to go in there. How about a Gila monster? Open up the exhibit trading section and adopt one.
What the heck is a Gila monster? A Gila monster. This animal is being adopted for cash. It cannot be released to the wild. Okay, never.
Just as we do with habitat animals, we need to send the Gila monster to the exhibit. Select the exhibit to send it there. When you send an animal to an exhibit, it'll automatically be given the correct setup. But that doesn't mean it's completely ready for them. So let's finish it off. We'll start by adding some enrichment items. Head over to the exhibit's information panel. Good. Now open the Layout tab. Oh, well, it looks like we've only got the Enrichment Level 1 items unlocked at the moment. Never mind, let's turn on at least one of them for the Healer monster. As I'm sure you know by now, you can unlock more enrichment levels by having one of your vets do some research. Now, we'll also need to set the temperature and humidity in the exhibit. These are vitally important for keeping our healer monster happy and comfortable. Open the Climate tab. Here, you can see the healer monster's desired temperature and humidity. You can change both of these by adjusting the dials below. Make sure it's going to be nice and cozy.
Adjusting the dials.
That's the ticket. And the last thing we need to look at is setting up the different windows. So open up the Windows tab. You can edit and customize any of the windows on an exhibit. A window can be closed and blank, or have a 2-dimensional background, or even a 3-dimensional background on it. Why don't you have a play around with the options?
So 2D facade.
There's also an exhibit education board. Pop them down near your exhibits to teach your guests about them. Let's add one now.
Okay. There's one exhibit education board. Is that what it's supposed to do?
Lovely stuff. Now our guests can learn all about our venomous friend here.
Venomous?
Right, now, I've got a bit of a big job for you. I need you to increase the number of species in the zoo. You'll probably want to adopt both habitat and exhibit animals to do so, which will mean building plenty of new habitats and exhibits for them. Go on, off you pop. I'll check in with you when you're almost done.
It should be vertical. What do you mean? Oh. Oh, I see. Right, let's... Like that. Aha, I see. Yes, makes sense. Well done. It's like, not only are they reading it in the sky, it's also upside down. Oh dear. Oh my. So what am I supposed to do now? Have at least 12 species in the zoo. Hmm. It's for avian education. Yeah. Okay, so to have species in the... So now obviously there's a place down here where we could put something. I mean, what animals have we got that we could get? Let's have a look. So bonobo, hippopotamus, mandrill. Ooh. Western chimpanzee. Hippopotamus. Yep. Let's see what we've... Zoopedia. Oh, so how many animals do we have? We have bonobos, Bornean orangutans, giant burrowing cockroach, and a Gila monster. Oh, we have hippopotamuses. Lesser Antillean iguana. We have mandrills. Have ringtail lemurs. So what don't we have? We've got hippopotamuses. Wait, so we've got to have 12 species. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But 9. So we've got 9. We don't have chimpanzees. think, should we build this bit for the chimpanzees then? But it says up there, objectives, have at least 12 species in the zoo. Oh, 9, I've got 9. Okay, so it tells me how many I've got already. Okay, well, check the map and all that. Okay, let's get building for chimps. Although, this seems to be just a walkway that goes straight down into it. So, let's do... chimpanzees. Barriers. Let's start with barriers. They all seem to be woodlog ones, don't they? Personally, I think they should be brick because it's a chimpanzee. Oh, there's hippos. There's hippos right there. Yeah, because they're flicking strong, that's why. I mean, how big do we want an area for chimps? Normal path. Okay, and then we should have some no, I don't need that. God's sakes. Right. I can't remember how to make them taller. I really think they ought to be taller. Let's see, edit barrier. Edit height, here we are. Oh, wait. Select all of them. I think that'd be better. Oh, I should have stopped time, shouldn't I? Okay. So also, right, so chimpanzees. We need to put in stuff for them. So let's have a look. So all And we want to filter by species. Western chimpanzee, that's the one. Lord almighty. Right. Okay, so African shelter with dimensions. That's pretty huge. Arboreal feeding platform. That means it's up a tree. Lemur climbing frame. Large. What's this even look like? What is this? It's kind of weird. And so Oh dear, that's tiny. Oh! Yeah! Okay. Forage box. I need water, definitely. Right, let's get a chimpanzee and then see how terribly happy they're not. Right. What? There's no chimpanzee in the market now? Well, that's annoying. Why do they change? I don't know. The tapirs. I don't know. So we've got a Bard's tapir. No, they have hooves. Mandrills. Literally, there's like 5 animals here. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that was quick. Right, so if I go to Zootopia, have a look for Western. Lowland gorilla, Western chimpanzee. Land requirement 780 meters square. Wow, the boundary requirement is a little bit different. Maybe I literally just can't put chimpanzees in there. Boundary requirement, grade 3 climb proof. I mean, maybe if I just take the stuff out, if I've got an area, see what fits in the area, basically. I mean, they've got other things other than apes. So I don't have to have apes. Maybe I should let it see what it lets me put in here first, and then make it. I could always, you know, buy it, or adopt it, as it were, and then put it in that. Don't send it to the thing. Oh, one plank. one lone plank. Okay, so how big is the area I've got? This habitat is empty. Visit the animal market to add more animals. Yeah. Land area is plenty big enough. Yeah. Oh. Jump to heading. How does that help? So mandrills. We have mandrills. We've got the lemurs. The only one on here that we haven't got is the Bard's tapir. Which is endangered. Well, okay. Climbing requirement 0. Water 0. Water requirement 37 meters square. Temperature requirement 16 to 42. Boundary requirement grade 2. Less than a meter. Age of sexual sterility. Death. That will do it, yeah. Okay, we got quite a large enclosure. for nothing. I mean, how long does the market take to change? Memorials? What? Visiting player alerts. Okay, it's a bit random. Well, I'll tell you what, it's already 20 past 1. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to leave it here now. And we'll come back to this. If I don't do it tomorrow, because I might be catching up with Dreamlight Valley, could I do it tomorrow or Friday? We'll see how we go from there. So, thank you very much for sitting with me and putting up with all this ridiculousness. And it's quite a fun game. I'm quite enjoying it so far. Yeah. And I will see you soon. Alright, so have a good afternoon.